5 and 3115B, and this time that page bears the chairperson's signature. Now, the chairperson has disowned that signature on the document from the Minister of Lands. She sticks by the signature on the version she has in her own possession, which she got in her capacity as chairperson of this land board. She went further and said, if you people do not believe me, I'm going to obtain the evidence of a handwriting expert to tell the world whether those two signatures, the one on the version that I have and the one on the version from Minister of Lands, are both my signatures. And let me show you what the handwriting expert said. And this is a report from the Directorate of Forensic Services, Department of Question Documents, Uganda Police. And this is a report of somebody who compared the signatures of the chairperson of the land board with, on many documents she has signed, with the signature on the form that I told you about, which she disowned. And I don't know whether you want me to read for you what she read, or you want to read it yourself. Maybe you read it yourself. From findings.
I read the declaration.
No, from findings.
Or findings. Carefully examine the questioning signature in Exhibit A and then compared it with the sample signature in Exhibit BF. Comparison was carried out using scientific analytical methods of VSC 5000 video spectra, comparator, sketching, and visual observation method. The results of the analysis are as follows. The question signature handwriting in Exhibit A is fundamentally different from the sample signatures provided in Exhibit BF. They are different in internal proportion of initial letter N, like, and D, like, connectivity of strokes, relative sizes of character, and external proportion. The question signature is in photocopy form that limits most of the fine details of writing to be assessed. Based on the observation made above, in my opinion, it's unlikely that the author of the sample signature in Exhibit B and F signed the question signature in Exhibit A.
Now, for the record, the document being referred to by the handwriting expert is the application form for conversion from customary tenure to freehold tenure, stroke grant of freehold. So,
come again.
The form. Maybe I can take a look. The form.
So this report is referring to the signature.
For the purpose of her, the author of that report, coming up with her findings, she got signatures, or the signatures of the chairperson on many documents she has signed previously in her other capacity, and compared it with the signature on this form. So this was the main specimen of the document. And her conclusion was the signature on this document does not match the other signatures, the documents she had labeled BF, and then said it's unlikely that these signatures are one and the same person. So what that means is that this form, as we have hinted, is a forgery. Now, why this becomes a question for you to answer is because you say that you were a person interested in this matter. You were the mover. You were the one the coordinator, you are the one who was talking to all these people, the chairperson of the board, the secretary, the chairperson of the district, and every other person that was involved. So if we find a fake or forged document, most importantly, an application letter on the file, then you become responsible. You become answerable. So who forged this document?
One, I did not forge because I'm not a member of the land board. I don't participate in paperwork preparation and who signs where and who signs. That is not part of my mandate. That is very clear. Two, when I met the chairperson, and we agreed that she was going to handle this matter with that is the chairperson land board, the chairman of the district, and the secretary. Now, the ministry, from what you're giving me, has what the secretary has. The chairman, the chairperson of the land board, has her own copy which differ from these two. However, when I called her, sometime back after they had told me that the file had left the land board, she's actually the one who told me that the file left the land board. I asked her, did we get a minute? Is our file moving? Because I first called Chairman 5, he wasn't picking. So I called her. I said, my sister, because I call her my sister. Said, how is my file? Is it moving? She replied to me in our local language, file yaja. I said, thank you.
Meaning what?
The file left her office. However, she told me that she did not attend the meeting, but she was briefed. I said, so who attended? She said the other members attended. Me, I did not attend the meeting. This meeting that passed this minute. That's what she told me.
Okay.
But for me, I was more concerned on the next step. So, if she didn't attend the meeting, as she told me, maybe, do you have the minutes to know the attendance of this meeting? Because she confirmed to me that she didn't attend. Now, if she didn't attend, that's what I want to clarify, the attendance list. Did the chairperson land board attend this meeting that passed this minute? Maybe if you have the minutes.
No, I think that one is a fact. I think a lot of information has been brought. But I think the issue here is that what needs to be verified is what exactly happened. Because, Council, you might want to show him a copy of the letter from the members of the district land board and what they say about that meeting.
Yes, thank you, my lord. We have another document, actually, of the board members who are said to have attended this meeting. And they're writing and saying, we never held such a meeting. And these are questions we put to Chitimbo
and Council, maybe in terms of nomenclature, you might want to understand what does the meaning file yaja mean. What is the meaning of file yaja? Does that mean the file went and was completed, or it just means the file went? And if it went, would you know whether it went the right way or the wrong way? What is file yaja?
So what do you understand?
My lord, file yaja is a Soga direct, meaning that the file has left the land board and gone to the next level.
Okay. But it can mean something else as well. It has left, it has...
No, that conversation in particular, that answer suited my question. It can mean something else, but I'd not asked something else. I'd asked that particular question.
You spoke to on phone?
Yes.
And that was about when?
That was around November.
November 2018?
Last year, yes.
Could it have been like how many days after the meeting of the board? Because the board met on 30th November, so maybe you spoke to her in another month, not November.
I don't remember the actual date, but the question here, from what I'm looking at, who is the authentic author of a document that goes to the next office? Is it the chairperson? Is it the secretary?
It appears it is both the chairperson and the secretary of the board.
It appears.
No, I think that's how it is. Any meeting, the minutes are signed off by the chairperson.
Because me, I would think.
And the board. Now, the chairperson, not only is she saying I was not, I did not discuss that property at any one time, but she says I have a version of the minutes of the meeting, and this
I think she's right when
it does not include
that she did not discuss
this particular property, and this is what the other members of the board are saying also. In a letter addressed to the Senior Registrar of Titles, Jinja Ministerial Zonal Office, Ministry Zonal Office. And that letter has been addressed to this commission and the head of the anti-corruption unit of State House in the same terms. So let's read the document.
The Office of District Land Board, Ginger, Box 1551, Ginger, 8th September 2019, the Senior Register of Titles, Ginger, Emzo. Dear Sir, Madam, subject matter reference fraudulent acquisition of land board minute number on land comprised on era V3852 folio 22 plot 24 Chabazinga Way. There are strong allegations made against the land board concerning the manner in which the said land file has been processed before it reached your office for titling. And we thought it prudent enough to bring this contentious matter to your urgent concern and attention as a matter of national concern, before things run out of hand and control as outlined below. The undersigned are the members of the District Land Board, but we strongly and openly disassociate ourselves with the land board minute fraudulently acquired to this land. We have never sat to discuss anything concerning this land at all. The then secretary of the board is the one who knows how Sumai Magnal Patel and his associates secured the said board minute. Never at any time has the board sat to discuss the said land matter at all, as earlier mentioned. But also, there are all further allegations that signatures of land committee members of Mpumu Chimaka division are not only forged, but also fraudulent. However, we are calling upon your good office to halt any further transaction on the said land and return the file to the land board for thorough scrutiny, guidance, and advice accordingly. Therefore, the purpose of this letter communication is to let you know that the minute number of the said land is not only irregular, unlawful, but illegal, and whoever issued it is criminally liable. And it is signed by Nabukal Nusula, member, Musenze David, member, Kakaire David, member, Mirembe Harriet, member. 4, not 5 members. Copied to Inspector General of Government, Anti-Corruption Unit, RDC, LOC5, Secretary of Production, Principal Land Management, Senior Staff Surveyor, and the Town Clerk.
So what I get from that letter, unless you convince me otherwise, is that not only did the meeting not include the chairperson, the meeting did not take place.
Well, like I've told you earlier on, I don't sit in the land board. I don't know what they discuss in the land board. My purpose was to follow up on my file. And I was told by the chairperson, the file has been processed. The meeting sat. By the time there are these other reference file numbers. If the meeting did not sit, does it mean that all these files sat on this damn thing here are also illegal or irregular? That is one. Then 2, the law. Not everybody writes. Even in this commission, all of you don't write. One person writes. The secretary is then mandated by the law to write. So if these people wrote as commissioners, they should have asked their secretary to put for them this letter on record, because
no, but you see, they wouldn't do that. The secretary is part of the problem.
Secretary is not here. These people, I know all of them.
It's part of the problem, yes.
As far as I'm concerned, even the first person, because the municipality is represented.
Let's first get this out of the way, Honorable Yoko.
Yes.
The meeting took place, right?
I presume so, but I've asked for the attendance list.
But it did not discuss Plot 24B, Chabazinga Way.
I don't know.
So you have the chairperson saying it never happened. The record that I signed off in my capacity, the chairperson did not include that property. But you also have people who attended that meeting also saying, we did not consider that item. That property, we did not discuss it.
I wouldn't want to...
And now when you say the chairperson also told you that file yaja, we have here printouts of a WhatsApp conversation this chairperson had with the board, with the secretary, Chitimbo, when it was brought to her attention that there were issues with this file. And maybe you need to see it yourself.
Why?
I mean, all these things need to be brought to your attention so that you know where you're coming from. You start from that conversation just below the picture.
As part of the discussion, this is not my signature.
Right? This is not my signature.
This is to request you to get me copies of the document that you retrieved from file 24B. I need to study them to ascertain all the legalities in fraudulent documents which I never witnessed.
Go to the next page.
This is request you to get me copies of the document. Thank you very much. Let me hope that you did not go ahead with your fraud. I do not want to be part of any fraudulent dealings over plot 24B. I have my integrity and name to protect. Thanks.
Now, that's the chairperson. What do you get from those messages?
This is their private conversation.
Yeah, but what's the interpretation?
I see is referring to...
As far as the chairperson's involvement is concerned.
Yes.
He's
asking for copies of the document.
Yes.
That he retrieved.
Yes. But yes. The message that follows, I don't want to be involved in your fraud. Right? Because she never got the documents. But she insisted. I said, okay, you're not sending me the documents, but just know, I don't want to be involved in your fraud.
Can I...
And then she came and said, I don't know about this document.
Let me put it very clear to you. I don't sit in the land board. I was following up the matter. I cannot scrutinize their documents here. But one thing I know, the chairperson is not saying the truth. Because I have discussed with the chairperson this matter. I have discussed with the chairman 5. I've discussed with the secretary. And if he's claiming that doesn't know, then I'm in a total shock. If you look at my phone records, how many times she calls me, how many times I called her during that time on this matter. And then also, even before she came to the commission, she called me. And she told me clearly. She said, I'm going to the commission about this matter, but we made a mistake. We gave a minute when there's an existing tablets. She didn't have facts, but she was talking about integrity. When she was entering here, I am the last person she called. And I said, tell them the truth. I said, chairperson, tell them the truth. There's nothing to hide.
And
tell them the truth.
What truth
to me, the truth is, you told me the file had been handled. Of what purpose would I want to be given a forged minute when minutes are free of charge? Of what purpose would it help me not to wait for the next council meeting to sit and they give me a minute? There is a representative of the municipality on the board and is aware of this matter. The chairman 5 is aware of this matter. All the members are aware of this matter. And also,
they have written to this
Honorable, do you just want to look at the date on that conversation? The one that you call the private conversation. Is there a date?
Thursday, August 8th.
Thursday, August 8th.
Yes, my lord.
And when did she come to this commission? 20-something, I think. 20-something of August. And this is a WhatsApp conversation that's going on soon after these titles have been made out. You know, the reason we have lead councils and other land friends, senior council, and senior surveyors here, is because we are looking for scrutiny. The mind of a person is read better by the things that she says before than the things that she says after. So, and the mind of the person will come out, and this is where you are in a pickle actually, you're in a pickle because when the person tells you the file has been handled, she could be diplomatically telling you I'm out of it. Her WhatsApps speak for her. She sent these WhatsApps and they can be checked.
My lord.
You have conversations going on. I don't know whether you recorded any. We would be happy to know. But what I'm trying, yes, Commissioner.
Yes, and my lord, thank you very much. I just want to remind Honorable, you read out a letter of objection from the members of the Land Committee. They have expressed that they did not discuss the subject. In other words, they are saying they are confirmed with the chair that subject was not discussed. So are you not in a position now to say there is something wrong that happened?
My lord, I agree with the letter which they call the private conversation and the letter that they were written. In this circumstance, me who was following up this matter, to tell me that I didn't have a minute, and yet the representative of the municipality, the chairperson herself, confirmed to me that there was a minute. And to me, when I first heard of this issue of there was no minute, the first thing I did was to call the chairperson. I don't know if she told you that we even had a meeting in her office at BMK House Hotel Africana when these issues started. I went to her. I found her at Nira. She had gone to process her ID. I drove. I went there. I said, I have heard, chairperson. What is the problem? She said, I've told Kitimbo to bring all the documents to my office. Be there tomorrow at 10. We discuss this matter. And indeed, I went to her office. And I said,
This was when?
This was when this was recently.
Okay.
Yes, when the commissioner had now, actually when the registrar called her. Because the registrar called me and she said, Honorable, your file has an issue. The chairperson land board is disassociating herself.
Which registrar is this?
Aisha, the registrar of titles, Gingy. She called me in the night. She said, the chairperson, he said, actually, I have called the municipality representative about your file. And he said that I am not conversant, but maybe ask the chairperson. So the chairperson was called by Aisha. Actually, I understand the text messages, WhatsApp, because the chairperson of the land board showed me the conversation. But my question was only one. Do I have a minute, yes or no? That was my question to them. I said, I don't want to derail so much. Do I have a minute? Yes, no. They said you have a minute.
But now, Honorable, that is all fine.
Yes. And
with all these questions and stories,
then, just 1 second.
do you believe that there was a proper and legitimate process prior to the issuance of the title that you hold?
Yeah, there could be. Because that's why we are here. There could be.
No, but do you believe?
I am not believing.
There was a proper legal.
I am not believing. Because I asked the chairperson. Because this board, now like Nabukalu Nusula.
Because this is what I'm
just 1 second. Now like Nabukalu Nusula signs a document when she was not even a member of the board by then. Because she was not yet appointed to sit on the board, but she has signed. I think she would distance herself, but she's signing when she was not even a member of the board by then. And two, in my way of understanding the law as a member of parliament, not everybody should just write. Let them have a meeting, discuss, then write formally. But you write, you copy IGG, anti-corruption in individual capacities. This is a letter which, like, the people say, because this letter is not an official letter of the land board.
No, and they are not saying it is. All they are saying is, we've heard about this matter.
Yes.
And our name may have been mentioned in this
Then
respect.
the other members.
We want to make it clear.
And another thing, They are dissociating themselves because they think there might be corrupt acts. That's why they are sending it to the IGG. They know their public officers are concerned. They are sending it to the anti-corruption unit of the State House. They are sending it to everybody and saying, look here, us individuals who are here undersigned, we are not party to this.
My Lord, I agree with you very well. But
And so the issue here is not whether this is official document. The issue here is who wants to be party to this?
My Lord, don't you think it would be prudent enough for a land board of a district to compare notes with the other members of the board and the secretary before writing? Because when I heard of these letters...
No, Honorable, I will help on this.
Because in management...
At this level, it's no longer a board matter, it's a personal matter. And the members are well within their rights to sit down and say, you know, we need to place ourselves on the record. And that's what they were doing.
If it is a personal matter...
Yes, at this point, because...
I rest my case.
Do you know why it's a personal matter? Because it's a criminal matter. Crime is personal. When you commit a crime, you commit it as a person. So when there is anything that insinuates that there may be criminal liability, you must come out as a person and say, I am not party. So the members have said, those members have said, I'm not party. The chairperson has said, I'm not party. And that's why my question still remains, who wants to actually associate himself with that thing?
My Lord, like I've stated clearly, I'm not a member of the land board. I am an interested party in this matter, but I don't know of any forged minutes.
You see, Honorable Yoku, and I've said it before, and I won't say it again, why these questions become pertinent and why we pose them to you is for one simple reason. The forger must have a reason to forge. And that reason must have a lot to do with who stands to benefit from that forgery. And since you have told the Commission that this was your process, you had an interest in this matter, you followed it personally up until the title came out. So if we ascertain that there was forgery and therefore crime, then it gets back to you. Because you are the one who stood, because Chitimbo, because we are convinced he was involved in this forgery, Chitimbo did not have to forge. Because he was not going to get the land. The land was going to be gotten by you. So if Chitimbo forged, then we ask him, who got him to forge?
When I first...
Who procured the forgery, and that will be you.
When I heard of this letter, I think after it had, when Aisha told me about it, I asked for a copy. They gave me this copy. I called Musenzi. I asked him. He said, Honorable, I was also looking for you. I was going to call you. I did not know. When they were talking about Chaba land, I did not know they were referring to this land you're following up. And he promised me that he was going to cause a meeting, they discussed this matter. That was, and I also called Harriet. She said, I've also been informed by Musenzi that actually the allegation they're talking about, it is your file. And we are sorry. We made a mistake, we didn't know that was the file they were referring to. Maybe you should invite them. Because I asked them.
So, how many did you talk to?
I asked Musenzi.
There are 4 signatories.
Yes, I asked Musenzi. Because Nusula was not a member of the board by then. Then I called another board member of the municipality who represents me. He said, Honorable, I think people have gone mad. They are hearing 124, 125. I think they don't know what 124 is, or 24, whatever it is. He said, but that minute we sat, he even told me the place where they sat.
But you know, that minute, when you keep talking about it, and why we get concerned, and you then we can talk about it again. When you look at all the other properties listed in that document, 1 minute, 1 property. You don't have any other minute that has A and B, except that one. Except that one concerning 24B, Chabazinga Way.
Clearly.
So, really, a lot of questions have to be asked.
I agree. But to me, as the person who is following up this file, with the keen interest, I don't see any reason why somebody could forge a minute. It's not even.
Well,
even for, I don't
the reason could be either you are influenced, being said, I don't want to disappoint honorable, or money could have changed hands, and that's why people are desperate to do all sorts of things.
I, for one, I don't.
And when I talk of people, I'm talking about maybe Chitimbo, and his friend Waiswa in the land office.
Fine, it was Kitimbo
and of course, ultimately, Aisha Kabira.
Aisha is the one who raised the lead. I don't think Aisha has a problem here, because she's the one who told me first. And she actually halted the process for some time to verify. And she continued talking to the chairperson and the board members, and she went on and processed. Because these matters of land in Jinja, like Senior Commissioner said, there are many issues that we need to address in Jinja of land. There are many. And this could be one of them, whereby you find that board members are saying this is not correct, then maybe they are telling me it is correct, then the minutes of the chairman are different from the one which is in the registry. But I would prefer that the board gives us a position as a board in writing.
Well, the board...
Yes, let the board, instead of us following just later...
The chairperson has been here.
Yes, let them give us an official
And again,
position.
when we invite her in her personal capacity, and she has come and said, I don't know about this document. The secretary at the time has come and disowned one of the documents, the key documents, in this case being the
Did he disown the minute?
No, he disowned the application letter.
What about
the application? The document, he said his own version was the correct one. So, but as you can see, we have 3 versions. So
to me,
his opinion really.
To me, as the person who's following the file, I can see there is something that is irregular. Having 3 different documents saying the same thing. But I would follow, because I have a personal interest. I wouldn't want to say that my minute is wrong. I won't say that because I'm interested party.
Yes.
I would want my minute to be correct. So I would say I have to side with the official document from the ministry and one of the secretary.
Okay, that's your position. But I want to raise this question again before I go to the next point. Whose title is this? Is it Maganlal's title or it's Balieku's title?
No, it is clear. It is Maganlal Patel's title.
Right.
But I am the person who has been following it up.
Right. All right. I'm sure there will be more questions to be asked about that.
Yes.
Again, before I go to the next point, why is this title not in your names?
The title is not in my names because I am not the one who is going to build the mall. The investor is then going to put up the shopping mall.
And what is going to be a personal benefit?
And it is in my constituency.
That's one, fine.
Politically, I stand to be elected again. 3,
but as a person,
job creation.
But as a person, how do you hope to benefit from this?
My people benefit. To me, once my people benefit, I have achieved.
Nothing personal for you?
I have not thought about that.
Okay. Now the last point is from me is on the cases. On the cases in court that were filed by Yahaya and group. Against Jinja Municipal Council and Commission on Registration. You said at some point you had a discussion with the Yahayas. What did you agree with them?
Now,
just for the record, Yahaya sued Jinja Municipal Council and the Commission on Registration together with 9 other people. Hamza Mbago, Murisi Hoshafi, Kisache Yahaya, yes, that's Yahaya, Muroki Henry, Lumbas Mohammed Mustafa, Ngaronsa Joan, Mukwaya Joseph, Haji Bali Kowa, Musiko Bashir, and Muhammad Sekandi. You know about these people? Right. You know they filed a suit?
yes,
You know what they wanted in that suit?
yes.
What do they want?
They didn't want their titles to be cancelled. Yes.
Right. So what happened? What came out of this suit?
When I realized that when the minister wrote telling council that they had cancelled these titles, we knew it is done. In the actual sense, it wasn't done because there's a procedure to follow. When they went to court, I took keen interest to consult legally from people who understand the law. One, the names you're reading there, most of them had already sold the land. Even those that they had sold to had also sold. Now, it had already been transferred to more than 2 parties. 3, as a leader, I wanted to know who are these people. When I invited them for a meeting, I was very surprised that I was seeing senior citizens, elders, leaders, who were owning these plots of land. Now, in my...
So who are these elders?
Elders in Jinja, very senior people in Jinja. I'll give you the names. I'll write for you the names.
No, you can give them to us.
Yes. Owners of hotels, Rotarians.
Give us the names. I mean, we need them.
I'll give you an example.
And we have senior Rotarians here.
Yes, like Haji Wefe.
Haji Wefe?
Yes.
Who is that?
He's a serious proprietor in Jinja.
Okay.
Yeah? Mr. Rujumba, serious proprietor. These are very serious people we consult. Yeah? Because they had bought genuinely. Yes? Genuinely they had bought their land.
Who else?
Yeah. I have their... I didn't deal with most of them personally.
So you did not meet these people, actually?
I had a meeting with them.
The Mbagos and the...
All of them, I've met them.
You met them?
Even Mbago is a senior person, he owns a radio station, he's an elder. They're all, even Yahya himself, he's a serious person.
So you spoke to them and what did you...
So when I invited them for a meeting, they came to my house for a meeting. I told them, I am so much keen in developing this area into a shopping center. Government is in the process of cancelling your titles. You have gone to court. But we are all children of this soil. There is no reason for us to fight in what? In court. You have so many plots there. We're not going to allow you to build small houses in that prime area after the bridge. We can either compensate you with land somewhere else or give you what you put. Because we will not let you have small plots in this prime area. And the government is going to cancel your titles eventually, however long it will take us, even if we stay in court for 10 years. It will happen. But as a leader, I need win-win situation. How much did you invest? Let us agree. And we find a solution, you withdraw from court. And we compensate you. They said, Honorable, you'll have assisted some of us. We don't want these court things, fighting with the government. But for us, we bought, knowing we are buying something clean. Another person told me I was going to put a petrol station there and a restaurant. I said, no, we don't need those small investments. We are looking for something that welcomes people in Jinja. We're looking for serious investment. And as a leader, I'm requesting you, don't take that route. Let us harmonize. They said, Honorable, you've brought a very good proposal. I said, so, how much did you invest? Let us be genuine. Then the ones who sold to them, I also invited them. They said, me I sold to him for 100 million. Me I sold to him for 80 million. Now, I got the actual position. Then I said, fine. We can compensate you. And I'll do it personally, such that there are no issues on this land. Me, I'll know how to...
So have you compensated them?
Yes. I went ahead. I asked my brother, who is the manager at the radio station, who has the time in Jinja to sit. Me, I don't have time to sit with all those people. I said, we have agreed with these people this amount of money. I'm going to transfer the money, do agreements with them. They bring their passport photos, original titles, IDs.
No, just a point.
Yes.
Where did you pay them?
Yes.
And did you pay them as Barieku or?
As Moses Barieku.
Yes, but this is not your land. This is not your... How much did you pay them in total?
In total? 2.4 billion.
2.4 billion?
Yes.
Was that a donation? Was that...
No.
But,
it wasn't.
But this is not your land, so how do you hope to recover it?
I have told you earlier on that...
You see, what I'm asking is,
we had a gentleman
when you get to pay out 2.4 billion,
Not at once.
On behalf of somebody.
Not
No.
at once.
Well, you pay it once it's a date, it's agreed upon. And it goes
And I
beyond
have
you.
two. No, one that I have not paid.
It goes beyond you doing what you're doing as a leader. It's going beyond. It's something else.
What am I looking for?
Who is doing something for his people?
What was I looking for? I was looking for peace. I was looking for investment.
No, that's fine. But what I'm saying is the expense.
Yes.
The expense is so big that it is only fair that I will conclude that you are not doing it for the people of Jinja. You are doing it for another reason, not for the people of Jinja.
Why?
Because that's a lot of money.
So you wanted me to go and collect from the people of Ginger?
No. I'm not suggesting anything, but I'm just wondering how you get 2.4 billion to pay people simply because you want them to back off land in order for somebody to build a mall to benefit everyone.
Yes.
And I'm saying that is
maybe
unusual that it's very difficult
ask
to believe.
Me that how are you going to recover your money?
First of all, do you have any document or anything confirming that fact that you actually paid these people?
Yes. Their bank money was transferred on their account.
What do you have?
Money was transferred on their account.
Do you have an agreement or something?
Yes. With the original titles with me, with their passport photos, with their transfer forms, with the witness, with the lawyers. I have everything in my custody.
So you're going to give us copies of those documents?
They're here.
Right.
I've brought them for you.
Okay. So how do you hope to recover this money?
You know, to me, I know one thing. The investor I'm dealing with is my close friend. We agreed, we look for land to build a shopping mall. The process of going to government to get the land, I saw it was not going to work. Because we thought we'd get that land without any cost. But now that land with all those titles and people I know who have bought this land, put in their money, we are going to fight with them for the rest of our lives in Jinja if we just take away their land. I cannot take land of my people for free. They had got it genuinely. Even if the minister answered their titles, I knew it was going to be a battle. So I resolved and I said, the only way we can get this land is let me pay these people. I will find my investor, we discuss, and I can become a small partner in this business as one who has bought the land.
Okay. Now, what happened with the suits then after paying these people off?
What happened what?
To the suits?
Yes.
The suit that was filed by these people in the High Court of Jinja.
I told those people through my lawyers that whoever pays signs a withdrawal consent. So whoever was getting payment, he would withdraw in writing. And I would tell my lawyer.
Who's your lawyer?
They were in Ginger. Jimmy and the.
Who?
Jimmy and the. What's the name of the law firm? The first lawyer who did the arguments was Waiswa and Saleh Silas Advocates.
So who is the one? Who is the lawyer that was organizing these documents?
In Ginger there was Waiswa. Then there was also Jimmy. Those were the lawyers in Ginger. What I did?
Jimmy who?
These people had their lawyer in Kampala. I asked him.
And who was that lawyer?
That is Nyonyintono.
Nyonyintono.
Yes. He handled some purchases. Then the lawyers in Ginger also handled some other purchases. Yes.
Okay. So have they withdrawn the suit?
Majority have. Whoever was being paid would withdraw. And they would sign a consent of withdrawal. Yes.
Why I'm asking that question is that we have a copy of an order here signed by the Deputy Registrar Jinja, High Court. And it says this application coming up on this 23rd day of July 2019 before Her Worship Harriet Sali, Deputy Registrar, in the presence of Murisho Shafi, the second plaintiff. By the notice of withdrawal, it is hereby ordered as follows that miscellaneous application number 53 of 2019 and 54 of 2019 be and are hereby withdrawn, and civil suit number 55 of 2018 be discontinued against all the defendants and the injunctions removed that each party bear its costs. And this was on 23rd of July 2019. Now, Yahya Kisache, being one of the plaintiffs in this matter, was here yesterday but one, and he said he was shocked to find this document on the court file because he has never consented to anything of this nature. And of course, we haven't spoken to all the others, but the question is this a genuine court document?
It is their case. It is not my case.
No, but you are saying that these claimants have withdrawn all their claims.
Me, what I have, I withdraw of each and every person.
Including Yahya Kisache?
Yes, Yahya signed for the titles. Now, Yahya's case, Yahya had so many titles. I think like 3 or 4 titles. And Yahya has a balance. Why he has not signed? He says he still demands 30 million shillings, which I have told him that I don't think that is genuine. He says I put in so much money in legal costs and whatnot. So he has not signed the consent of withdrawal. That's why the case is still in court. But he doesn't have any title in his possession. That is humanitarian. And the gentleman is not demanding anything officially.
Okay. We are going to go to look into this order, but he disowned this. That's what I'm telling you. Then that would call into question the authenticity of this document and how it was procured. Again,
I think with that, the court should tell us if it is authentic or not. That one, I don't issue orders. I'm not a registrar. They should ask the registrar in Nigeria if he issued that order.
Okay. Now, with all this, first of all, the cancellation, the amendment of the register that the Commission on Land Registration signed off on in October 2018. So Commission on Land Registration has so far issued 2 orders, one in October 2018 and another in June 2019. And the effect, our interpretation of these orders is that the interest of the municipal council and by extension Tirupati are being restored. Now your title, or Magnaral's title, is a freehold title. Where is its place in this matter? Because the leasehold of Jinja Municipal Council was restored, so was the sub-lease of Tirupati. And those are legitimate land interests. Now, unless you cannot have those interests subsisting, and at the same time you have a freehold title in your names or those of Magnalar. So what is happening here?
Now, here we are assuming that the interests of the municipal council reinstated, then also the ones of Tirupati also reinstated. We are assuming, but
that's what the document says.
Yeah, but
the orders, the documents from court, or rather from the land office.
Now, the documents and the actual act of doing it was stopped.
Are you sure?
Yes, that's why you have the in court.
Had they been stopped, then they would not have been issued. They were issued.
So when they were, listen to me. So when they were stopped,
Did I hear that again? Did you tell the lead counsel that listen to me? I hope I don't hear it again.
I'm sorry, my lord. I'm not used to things, but I apologize.
This is not parliament. You know, parliament, you're so democratic. Here we tend to follow.
Yeah, there is no
order.
democracy.
No, don't do that.
I'm sorry, my lord. Now, the letter of the commissioner, which terminated the title of Jinja Municipal Council, subsequently terminated the lease, the sub-lease of Jinja Municipal Council. And mind you, Jinja Municipal Council gave a sub-lease to the party of 25 years when their title had only 17 years. 2, if they have reinstated Tirupati's sublease, then Tirupati also has to pay the money he did not pay to Jinja Municipal Council. Because you cannot get a sublease the second time on reinstatement when you're only not paying anything. Under the law, we would challenge Tirupati's reinstatement of the sublease because he did not honor his lease. But also Jinja Municipal Council does not have land because the land was entered by the land board.
And that re-entry was rescinded
Now that re-entry,
by the Commission on Registration.
now that re-entry is what is being contested.
But whether it's being contested or not,
And lead counsel, I thought the witness has just told us that he has documents that show that everybody who received money from him, totaling up to 2.4 billion, signed a withdrawal, and that is why the registrar ordered that matter be withdrawn. So if what he's telling us is true, you see, there is in law you cannot have and eat your cake. You know, you got to choose one thing. You can't say that yes, they withdrew and I have the withdrawals, and then again you say the suit is still in court. You can't have that position. It just doesn't make legal sense. I don't know. I mean, you tell me why it should make legal sense.
My lord, those orders are not issued by me and not on my behalf. These people who had those titles there, those who were paid, signed consent forms of withdrawal, which I have, but not all of them. Not all of them signed. Yahya has not signed, Mbago has not signed. That means that...
let me ask you this. Out of the 10 plaintiffs, how many have withdrawn their claims?
I think like six.
That would still leave you the substantial number
Yes, six.
of people.
Yes, six.
But anyway, just put it on the record. Into freehold in favor of Magna, because there was already an existing piece of land registered unknown and was called 24B. So moving from there, the question is, which land now did the Register of Titles register as freehold in favor of Maganlara?
Thank you. To answer that immediately,
Yes.
it is plot 24B,
Yes.
which copy I'm holding in my
And
hands.
that's what I read, yes.
And the issue of Tirupati Jinja Municipal Council is plot 24. When the road, the new bridge came in place, plot 24 ceased because the road took part of
the
it.
land became customary land or what?
No, it was now, it had to become
What?
24B.
In whose names?
Now, at that time, when the new road and whatnot came in, it was still Tirupati and the Municipal Council. Now, your question that the titles were cancelled, I would want to bring it to your attention that until today, some titles have not been cancelled. The title I'm holding in my hands is the copy of the title which is currently owned by us.